Hey, Slushy the Buckaroos, how the heck are you? I wasn't sure I was going to do a video tonight or not, actually. I just got home a little bit ago, just enough to get a little bit of some dinner prepped and then jump on here quickly. I was kind of waffling. Do I want to? Do I not? And I figured out what the hell. If I could do it quickly. Had a long day at work. Wasn't a bad one. I'm not necessarily completely exhausted, but the old bones hurt standing up for 10 hours. As we're preparing for St. Patrick's Day, it's a big one around our house. I've only got one Irish whiskey on hand that was given to me by a friend a while back. I'm not going to drink that one tonight because I want to save that for another video. I do need to get to the store, though, if not this weekend, my next day off, to get some St. Patrick's stuff because I usually have at least one, good single malt here. And I don't. I only have one blend. It's decent. It's not terrible, but nevertheless, I don't know if I'll want to get out this weekend or not. To be honest with you, we're just gonna have to play that one by ear. Oh, I thought I grabbed two different beers, but I actually grabbed the same one. Thought I grabbed the Kolsch and the Pilsner, but I grabbed two Pilsners. So I guess I probably don't need two glasses anyway. That's how tired I am, man. So let me pour this beer, and I'll have some whiskey with it. And I grabbed the two different beers, but I did. This is from Minocqua Brewing Company out of Wisconsin. They are not available in my neck of the woods. I have to have them shipped to me. So I got a subscription where I get 4 packs a month from them. This is the Resistance, a Pilsner for true patriots. It is 4.8%. And there was a nice story on the back, but I've read it in other videos, so I'm not going to for this one. 4.8%, 28 IBUs, but they're one of the few breweries that are willing to take a stand, and that's one thing I really like about them. So, Sláinte. Oh, mercy. Anybody watching, if you have any questions or comments, I'll answer almost everything unless you're just being an asshat. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Set that beer down, and typically I have everything already figured out and lined out what I'm going to have. I did, and I just grabbed the two beers, and I grabbed some glasses, and I was just going to wing it with the whiskey. So I've got a couple here I'm going to have. I'm going to start with this one. This was a Christmas present from a friend. Brad, thank you, Brad. This is a Basil Hayden Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Artfully aged. Jim Beam Distilling Company, distilled and bottled in Claremont, Frankfurt. And don't guess they're doing much distilling and bottling there these days, but nevertheless. I give myself a generous pour here. And since it is only an 80 proof, let's be a little more generous than that. There we go. Let's get a little more generous than it. The line in Smoke in the Band, a little speedier than that. Anyway, let me show you this bottle one more time. There you go, Basil Hayden. It's it's a decent price, moderately priced, I'd say. Some may not consider it top shelf, but it sure as hell ain't bottom either. Just a nice, moderately priced whiskey. Got some poured neat here, as you can see. Didn't want to take the time to fool around with doing a cocktail. Like I said, I'm kind of tired. Just wanted to grab a couple beers, grab the glasses. I didn't even have the whiskey picked out before I started the video. Just looking at my bar cart and grabbed what was close, man. Anyway, let's watch it. Oh. Oh, mercy. As we start to approach St. Patrick's Day, I will be working directly on St. Patrick's Day, which is on a Tuesday this year. I don't mind too much, though. You know, we tend to want to make a big thing of it at work. My wife and I both like to do things, so we might do kind of a, you know, impromptu kind of potluck kind of thing. And quite frankly, neither one of us really care if anybody else brings anything. My wife will usually do some sweets, probably do some soda bread. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do corned beef and cabbage and Irish stew, or just do the Irish stew. I'm going to want to do the Irish stew for sure. Corned beef, I don't haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet. I haven't seen what I like yet as far as the corned beef. I don't want to buy just, you know, those brands that you see at the, you know, the bargain store, if you will, without mentioning any names. But I do want to make a nice Irish stew, but I will take a liberty or two, I should say, because I don't like to use the lamb. So I tend to try to stay with the same spice palette and the other ingredients the same. But I usually use pork. Every once in a while I use beef, but I like the way that the pork works with the stew. So we can call it an American Irish stew, if you will. Oh man, that is good. That is a nice. Again, I mean, it's just a nice, easy drinking whiskey. It's a little on the subtle side. But it is a bourbon, easy enough to drink, neat at 80 proof, but you could add rocks to it if you will, because it's not so high up the food chain that you're worried about it, right? You could even cocktail it if you like. My concern about cocktailing it is 80 proof. To me, a lot of 80 proof whiskeys get lost in the cocktail. I tend to like to use 90 and above, and if I'm being honest, I like to use 100 or above. Most of the time, I like to use a lot of cask for that matter. But yeah, I think if you 80 proof tends to get lost, you lose the whiskey. Because I'm a big spirit forward cocktail guy, so set that down. You pick up that beer, Minocqua out of Wisconsin. You can see it's got a kind of a light straw color. Spent 10 hours around beer today. This is my first beer of the day. I feel like I'm drinking less beer working at a brewery than I did before, because I'm there all the time, so I'm not drinking. And they give us a rather generous beer allowance, but I don't take advantage of it most of the time. Oh, mercy. But I am off this weekend and next weekend. I tend to work a lot of weekends around this time of year, but I did ask for a couple off. I made the mistake of agreeing to work the Sunday after the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day, if that you followed any of that. So the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day here in town is always the St. Patrick's Day parade. Now, I'll be real honest, I'm not a parade guy. I've never liked parades, so I never go to them. But a friend who had in his company had a float in the parade. He asked me if I wanted to take part. So I did. And I had so much fun. But I had already agreed to work the Sunday after that day, so that was a little rough. So I made sure I had had the Saturday and Sunday off this time, just in case. It was a lot of fun, though. That's why I decided to go ahead and take part in it again. I told my wife, if he asks me to be a part, I will. I mean, I'm not going to, assert or insert myself into the situation. But if he asks, and he did, says, oh, what the hell, why not? Kind of gets me out of my comfort zone a little bit. And it was a little nerve-wracking last year because I didn't know anybody. And although I haven't kept in touch with any of the folks because there's no reason our paths to cross, when I see them again, and where it's not going to be like strangers, I got an idea of the momentum and how the things work this time. Because it seemed to be a lot of like hurry up and wait. You wanted they have to meet at a certain time, but then nothing really gets going until 2 hours after that. I don't know why you have to meet it, but I guess you gotta get your float entered and do whatever. And then they line you up, and then there's more waiting. And anyways, I just wasn't prepared for it all last year, so now I'll have an idea what's going on. Oh, but I will tell you, I did have a lot of fun. Uh, but this year I let myself get into the same trouble I did last year's. In years past, I've always made sure I've had a lot of Irish whiskey around. So I'm just really finishing stuff up. But last year and this year, I just never got, I've been doing a lot of small distillery product that I just haven't bought any Irish. So I'm going to have to break down and go to the store and get at least a couple bottles of Irish whiskey. I want to spend a lot of money, but I need to have some good stuff at home. I like to have at least one single malt. I'll see what's available. I like to have one for that, that Boilermaker. I'm not a big Irish car bomb guy because I don't like I don't need that Irish cream curdling on me. but yeah, I mean I like to have a nice stout or even an Irish ale and do a Boilermaker. I also like just to have some around to sip. So I want to have one inexpensive whiskey and then one really nice, usually a single malt or just a upper scale blend where I can just sip her, right? Uh, and then maybe have one sort of in the middle there to do a cocktail or two. Oh, mercy. That really is. I mean, wow. I haven't had it for a little bit. But it really is an easy drinker. I mean, I'm getting absolutely no burn or at all. But it is a very subtle, very, very subtle whiskey. Oh. But yeah, so since I know I'm doing that next weekend, I don't get paid until after. Actually, I get paid on St. Patrick's Day, actually. But anyway, so I probably won't do anything this weekend in anticipation of knowing I'm doing that parade next weekend. I'd have just relaxed at home, and there is a possibility of some bad weather this weekend, so we'll kind of play it by ear. But I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to be heartbroken if I, never get out of pajamas all weekend long. I'm kind of looking forward to it, as a matter of fact. Um, it used to be when I had a day off, I'd drive my wife crazy. We'd have to get out and do something. And my wife's kind of a homebody, so she always just, made the best of it and got out because I would drive her crazy if we didn't. But anymore, because I do so much socializing at work, I don't even want to go anywhere on my days off most of the time. 'Cause I got folks that want to, hey, Tom, why don't you meet us here, there? Folks I work with, why don't you come in on my shift? Oh, yeah. There are times I really plan on getting out, then that moment comes, and I don't want to go out. It's outside. I gotta put clothes on. I don't like putting clothes on. I really don't. It's even getting to be more than that. It's not that I don't like putting clothes on. I'm starting to resent having to put clothes on to go. I don't want to put clothes on. These pajamas are comfortable. Or this pair of sweats are nice. I ain't going out. Or if it's hot, yeah, I don't even have that much on without giving you too much information here. Yeah, I don't want to go out. And I love watching movies, and I've been buying a lot of digital movies lately. I've gotten to where I just rather, watch the movie at home than go to a theater. I don't enjoy going to theaters anymore. So there are times I'll resign myself to the fact that I'll pay a little bit more so I can watch the movie at home, and it's still less than buying tickets for the damn movie. I mean, by the time my wife and I buy tickets to the movie, even if we just have popcorn and a couple drinks, I mean, it's 60, $70. Jesus, man. If I spent $20 to buy the movie and I can stay home and watch it, well, hey, man. No, I get it's not a big screen. Don't have uh, the sound, but I mean, I've got good sound at home and I've got a good picture on the TV. It's not a big screen, but it's pretty big. Anyways, I digress. I brought out two beers with the thought of drinking both. I thought I grabbed two different ones, but I grabbed this two the same. But quite frankly, I'm getting full knocking this one back, and I'm getting tired and want to have my dinner. So we're just gonna call it here. I'm gonna finish this whiskey up and this beer with you, and we're gonna call it a day. And you may hear from me tomorrow. Hard to tell. Try to get some sleep tonight. Like I said, I just want to relax. I've got stuff here. My wife and I, we have plenty of food here at the house. I got plenty of, other things too. I got plenty of beer, plenty of whiskey. Hey, man. So I may get on to a video tomorrow. I just don't know. I've gotten to where a lot of days I've become my dad. I just want to watch old movies all day long. I used to really get on to, Jesus Christ, Dad, we've seen this movie. I said, I know you've seen this movie a dozen damn times. This was when you had to watch the movie on TV with all the commercials and everything. And he watched the same movies over and over and over again and drive me nuts. And now I'm doing the exact same damn thing. What's even worse than that is it's the exact same movies. The same movies I complained about having to watch, I'm watching over and over again. So I know he's wherever he is now, just laughing his ass off. Because I do have those exact same movies. Now watch them. There's just a handful that if I'm tired or feeling run down, those comfort movies, if you will. Then I just want to have something on. I don't have to think too much about. There's a problem. I don't know. I was gonna say half a dozen, but I probably have a few more than that. But there's something I like to watch, but not all of them are movies he would watch. But there's at least 6 or so that I know he would watch over and over again. So, anyways, oh God. If I feel really ambitious, I might get to the liquor store tomorrow, but then part of me doesn't want to spend the money right now. I know I need to get some Irish whiskey, but I'm going to think, well, you got to spend this amount of money. Let's just wait. Anyways, I digress. I'm Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and oh, biscuits. I'm also Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, man. Oh, yeah, there's no way I can drink 2 beers. Oh, mercy. All right, good guy, Sláinte. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it.